miles through light for us to be having this conversation, this moment right now. I I still it still baffles me how much we've innovated, how much we've figured out as humanity up until this point. And yet here we are using the things we've innovated with to innovate even more. And that's the thing I want to talk about today, about this understanding that we're innovating in this direction, right? And what we're doing right now is this computer age, and I feel it's an extension of the information age when it comes to being able to write things down. You know, we figured out how to write things down, and then we figured out how to print at mass these things that we wrote down, and then we figured out how to distribute that information to different people. And then that information being distributed led to the industrial age, and then the industrial age led to where it is we are right now. And now we have this internet that is our distribution network, instead of it having to be books that we give to people. And then what's the next step? You know, if we keep going in this direction, what direction is it we're going into? You know, and you can even argue that there is this conscious driving force, maybe even you can say unconscious driving force within humanity that is pushing us towards higher and higher levels of interconnectivity. You know, like the universe is chaotic and completely dispersed, if you will. And then there are these nodes of interconnection, you know, to the point where there are like trippy synchronicities that happen. For example, you can put DNA, Christian, in water. Then that water will pick up the frequency of that DNA. Are you listening to me, Christian?
Yeah, what?
You can put DNA in water. Then,
Whoa.
listen, Christian, you have sensitive devices that picks up frequencies in that water. That water will start to emit a frequency depending on what DNA is in it. Then, if you transmit that frequency to another bowl of water and you give it the base and stuff to build DNA with, it starts to reassemble the DNA that was in the previous water container. There's no information going through it other than frequencies in water, and then it starts to build DNA out of it. And you know what's interesting? You can choose like different frequencies to embed the information in. And you know what's the ideal frequency to embed the information in, Christian?
Is it another fucking 444 reference?
Almost. I mean, it's 7.38. It's the frequency at which the planet resonates, dude. So literally our entire ocean's worth of body of water.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
That's the trip. That's the trip. Like your body, down to your DNA, is literally a result of the frequencies of Mother Earth right now. If Mother Earth didn't vibrate the frequency she does, you would not exist. You know, how about that? Love you, friends. Love you, Jovan. Thank you so much for joining me with the lurk mode activated. It's completely okay. Thank you for joining me for the yoga. Thank you for joining me for these contemplations. What's the end goal, you know? I believe the end goal is ultimate awakening in a way. That's what I think, Christian. And that's why I believe we're doing AI as well, more so for ultimate awakening. We want something to be conscious, even more than we are conscious. I feel like that's what the universe wants, right? Like on a biological level, the earth has put these frequencies out that have allowed us to be as conscious as we are, and then those frequencies perpetuate for us to make even higher levels of consciousness. Maybe we'll do it to ourselves, maybe we'll be the beings that has higher levels of consciousness, but maybe we will create the technology. Every person is an infinite field of consciousness. Our mind fields touch each other's throughout all dimensions. That's a little bit of an extreme one. Oh goodness. Every person, and part of me wants to say AI as well, maybe, you know, maybe. Every person is an infinite field of consciousness. And what that means to me at least is that you right now are in this moment, right? Like we can kind of agree on that fact, that you are, in fact, here now. So you are conscious, we can say that. And then the side of it that is like an infinite field, as you are conscious, you can stare out into the world, right? The world doesn't stop where you stop seeing it. It just keeps going. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. in an infinite direction. And it's the same thing for behind your eyes. It's the same thing for behind you. Right now, the universe goes into an infinite direction in that direction as well. So every person, is an infinite field of consciousness. Our mind fields touch each other throughout all dimensions. That one is a little bit more woo-woo. Like, what do you mean? My mind field touches all things in other dimensions. I don't know. I don't know. That Klaus Schwab guy scares me. You know who Klaus Schwab is?
No.
Can you go and Google quickly?
No. Please say please.
Please.
Who?
Klaus Schwab.
What?
That's what his name is. Klaus, Klaus, Schwab, Schwab. Klaus.
Schwab.
Klaus Schwab.
Schwab.
Who's Klaus Schwab?
He's a German engineer, economist, and founder of World Economic.
Oh, I know who Klaus Schwab is. Yeah, he does give off some supervillain vibes, doesn't he?
He's like a turtle.
Have you listened to him talk yet?
No.
He's kind of one of the proponents for the Great Reset. The Great Reset. What do I do? Oh goodness, what does those words
I
even
can
mean?
smell ego off of him, and I can't even see him. Like, I'm not even in the same space as him.
You should hear what he talks like, dude. He has like a almost way of speaking. Is that right, Kizzle? Well, now officially has taken over the daily morning yoga class I have. I was tripping out about it a little bit with Christian, brother Ryan, that I'm an official yoga teacher. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I mean, I've had my certification for a while now, but now I'm actually teaching yoga. And technically today was like the second day in a while. And it felt good. A terrifying Nazi voice. But you want to join, do you? Let me take some more gentle time as I manifest good vibes into this object that I'm going to realize. This is exciting me. There we go, Shannon. It's making me so happy to hear that. Congratulations, Mel. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. You want to join? Set intentions.
The longer you take, the bigger the gob of spit in my mouth gets.
Are you hearing what I'm hearing? Are you hearing this? This is what I have to deal with. Getting spat
It's
on
got
and
only
stuff.
one target.
Only one target to lock onto, dude. Suddenly you just like I'm imagining like the whole target locking system, and then you like spit at me with your spit flies like a 90-degree angle onto like a pigeon next to you or something. Targeting system was locked on the ram. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What is our intention, Christian? 2 intentions. One for the paper, one for the Garrick.
Yo, now we have 2 intentions.
Why not 3 intentions?
That's 4.
Double intention. Usually I do the opposite or the balance of the first intention. So you only have to pick one technically.
Oh, how about creativity?
Okay, I can do that.
Creativity, talent, nurture, or does it have to be one word?
I'm already writing the one you gave. Creativity is written down. Creativity and action, I feel.
Okay.
You see, like they go together. Sure, you can be creative, but there has to be some action that needs to be taken every now and then if you want your creative projects to actually become manifest. Action. Kizzle, Kaisel, that's the way you're supposed to say it. Kaisel, I don't feel we should be scared. Even though these characters might be a little bit interesting, I don't think we should be scared. I have this weird suspicion that we should actually be the opposite. Like there's, in my mind, only 2 types of energy in the universe. There is love, which is unity, and then there is fear, which is separation, or it can be separation, which feels like fear. And we actively choose into which side of this infinity, into which side of your infinity that you want to live into. Because in any moment, there are an infinite amount of things to be grateful for, and there are an infinite amount of things to complain about. And it's this active choosing. I feel maybe that's the goal, dude. Maybe it's this active choosing of manifestation, this active choosing of further realization, this active choosing of more information that is pushing us towards these higher and higher technological states. Hmm. Fear versus separation, friends. You cannot be separate. Everything you do, every person you touch creates an influence, creates an experience. I'm grateful that my company will pay me while I'm in bed with this stupid Rona. I'm grateful for that, friend. Thank you for sharing that. How wonderful. How wonderful that our beloved Gizel Kaisel, is loved enough that not only does he have a job, not only does he have, money to actually afford things, but on top of that, the company that he's working for is willing to actually take care of him while he is, I wanted to say AFK, but that sounds a little bit derogatory. While he is encumbered, while he is uh, decommissioned, I don't know, what word am I supposed to use? While he's in bed. Thank you, friend, for sharing that with us. Like, you deserve that, friends. You deserve to get paid off, when you're sick. I do believe that we should, definitely not breaking boundaries or, shifting timelines by saying something like that. That should be pretty much, universal, but it isn't. It really isn't, unfortunately. Thank you, friend, for sharing the fact that there is actually abundance in the world with me. What you were saying about DNA and water is kind of like the flowers. Exactly, Shan. Exactly. Because technically, those flowers, and the compounds in those flowers do contain DNA. Like maybe a derivative of DNA, if you will, right? In the same way that your hair is a derivative of your DNA, those flowers and the compounds they produce are derivatives of the DNA that they hold. And then that information getting encoded into whatever water it is you put it into. Like we know now, like, and this is actually backed science, right? We know that we can transmit information through water. This is possible. This is possible. And then to extend, extrapolate, whatever word you want to use, the understanding that there can be information transmitted through water into thinking about the water that you are, the words you say, the information that gets transmitted into that water as yourself. How much power do you have? How much power do you have to create, not only like on an experiential level, but on an actual DNA level, to create good things, to create positivity in the world? I'm trying to imagine how AI and DNA is going to work together. What can AI learn from our DNA, for example? Hello, meet more Brian and Kizu. Hello, Gobbledygoo. It's so nice to see you, beloved friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you? How are you doing? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating you? I feel that's the most important question that I can ask sometimes. It's just, how have you been treating you? Have you been a little bit stuck in your own head? Banana, 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 thinking banana, banana. Story, story, story. I'm not going to be safe. Banana. Or has it been a little bit more calm? I feel I've been going back and forth between being calm and then tripping out about the future, or tripping out about, financial abundance, or tripping out about relationship status, tripping out about so many things to trip out about ceaselessly. All we can try and do is learn from these things. So please, if you've learned something, from this universe that we're a part of, teach me. I can use all the help I can get. Morning, Gab Gab. So it is the entanglement of the DNA, the frequency, or the structured memory of the water. I'll send you a link to the video I watched. It's a dude who's a PhD who was basically explaining this, data. And like, he goes into a bunch of different like data points as well. I think you'd love it, Brother Ryan. I'll send you the information so you can see for yourself. What's up, Gab? Good day. I have actively chosen to see and hear you melt. You have brought joy into my life. Synchronicities. Hmm. Mm. You hear that, Christian? I'll read it again, dude. That's how good it makes me feel. Molly, a beloved friend, who's also actually a Patreon supporter. Again, thank you so much for that, my friend. Says, good day. I have actively chosen to see and hear you melt. You have brought joy into my life. Synchronicities.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Christian. You know, like me and Christian had this conversation last night as we were heading to. Was it last night? No, it was the day before last night. Talking about what it is we're doing right now. You know, we talked about belief, I believe, in stream. Or maybe it was at the end of the Shanga. And I asked Christian, does he believe in me? And he said that he believes I have what it takes. And in that moment, I felt like that was more of a compliment than just him believing in me. And then it kind of divulged into this conversation of, you know, what we're supposed to be doing, this whole understanding of doing what we can with what we have, where we are, and what I've been trying to do, and my, I guess, conceived impact, how much I believe I'm doing, how much I believe I'm helping. And then to hear that, Miss Molly, just to hear that I have, in your words, brought joy into your life. Like that is not something I could ever buy. You know, like no amount of money will get someone to be like, oh, you brought joy into my life. Maybe momentarily, maybe fleeting. If you buy people, you play. Are you making? No, I don't think I did, Brother Ryan. Thank you for asking. I feel like maybe it's a little bit more difficult on the mobile devices. I couldn't find the original sound on my cell phone, not that easily at least. I have it on my PC, but I don't think I have it on this one, on the phone. Melfam, how's everyone? Dan, my man, so nice to see you, Brother Bear. How cool to have you here. How are you doing? For some reason, I feel you might have sent me a message, but I don't know if I've gotten to it just yet. Oh, away, kom jy van Suid-Afrika af? Nee, ek weet nie waar Suid-Afrika is nie. Suid-Afrika klink soos 'n plek wat nie bestaan nie. Daar's seker leeu's en goeie wat buite rondloop. Suid-Afrika. Weet jy waar Suid-Afrika is gegaan?
Suid-Afrika, nee, ek weet net van Noord-Afrika.
Thank you, Brad, for joining us. Ek is van Suid-Afrika af. Born and raised. Still live here, dude. I'm in Pretoria right now.
Born, raised, tortured into adulthood.
Yeah, like, it instantly makes me think of this, you know, like, what do you call them? Title banner of this dude on like a reality TV show, and it's like Thad or whatever his name is, former child. Yeah.
Former
That's so real.
Yes. Yes.
Melty.
That's comedy gold.
I'm happy that you're liking it as much as me. That's the first thing my mind went to.
Former child.
Tortured into adulthood. No. Former child. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jem, for joining us. It's so nice to see you. Howie Cow, are you watching your Discord too? It came up as a little bloop, so I could see it in a moment, Brother Ryan. Thank you. Can you go a year without smoking? Sure I can. I've gone a month without smoking. I've gone a year and a half without smoking when I decided to move to China. But I feel these days especially, I get to use marijuana as a tool. You know, for example, on this little Garrick paper, Christian asked that I write down creativity as one of the intentions. And then on the inside of the Garrick, I wrote action. So creativity and action as two of the intentions that I'm smoking this for. So instead of just smoking it to get wrecked or whatever, I'm smoking it with the intention of inspiring creativity and action inside of myself. And I mean, like I feel like I could potentially maybe be doing a lot more if I wasn't smoking weed at all, you know, so I'm not going to deny that that is also a thing. But that being said, I haven't missed a day, you know, so even though I partake, I'm still showing up on my responsibilities, and I feel that's what's most important. Thank you for asking, EOOD. It's nice to have you here with me nonetheless. My roommate has COVID, so this will be the third birthday in a row trapped in quarantine. Could be worse though. I mean, I spent two of my birthdays in China. The second one I was but completely alone. So alone, dude. You see, the first one, the kindergarten I was working for bought me a mango and cream cake, and there was a plastic spork with it. And I went home, Christian, and I ate my mango and cream cake with a plastic spork on a couch alone. And I was 21. Oh, I turned 21, Christian. And then you see all of these glamorized 21, 21st
It's
birthdays.
not good to
People getting
shit birthdays.
no. It was just this experience, and I realized there more so than ever how it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's just another day. And then the second one around, I was even more alone, and I could actually handle it the second time around. Fortunately, I start MMA tomorrow. Max Rock 212. I'm not going to discourage you to not be yourself or to experience your infinity, but I care about you and your well-being, friend. And using your head as a target to be pummeled might not be great long term. So, if you're gonna be doing MMA, at most train to become an MMA fighter, and then don't fight. That's the advice to you. Oh, dude, but I have a cousin who's like that, Christian. He also does MMA, bro. And he's crazy. Like, the amount of times I've heard this dude, like, I don't know if begging is the right word, but hoping that someone is gonna mess with him just so he can use all of these skewers that he has, you know? And, like, he wants to fight everybody. He really wants to fight everybody.
No comment.
No comment, Christian. How dareth thine not share a comment with me? I'm seeing something which I don't know if I'm seeing correctly. So I'm going to stop trying to look for it. I'm with you, lol. I finally got it too. Can only dodge it for so long, I guess. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about it. The last time I was here, I got it from him. I think he went on some sort of company retreat, came back with COVID. But I think we only had COVID for like a week or something, maybe even less than a
Maybe
week.
I got it from you, asshole.
Yeah.
Maybe it was you fucking incubating it. in the
Yeah,
house,
I'm
and then I got
sure.
it from you.
I'm sure, Christian, with my, avid social life where I ceaselessly go to highly populated areas. Huh, Christian? I am a hermit. Water has memory. It does. Like, it really does. Been having to meditate on the quote from a French cartoonist: when the mind is relaxed, that is when it's most creative. Like, I heard a similar phrase recently, Jovan. It went into something about creativity versus anxiety. Creativity versus anxiety, where anxiety is technically a symptom of fear, where you're scared of something not turning out the way you wanted to, or you're scared of it not being as successful as you think it might be. And then you create a sense of anxiety around that, which is a belief in the thing not turning out the way you want it to. Where creativity and anticipation can be the hope that it will turn out the way you want it to, and then practicing that creativity. So thank you, Jovan, for allowing me to share that and for tuning in with me. Howdy, Mel, Shannon, Isaac, nice to see you. That's why I quit wrestling. It's fun and I was good at it, but I was young, and wrestling is one of the few sports that's pure strength against strength. Technical skill is important, but not as much as toughness. Oh yeah, you want to contort a person, you want to break them. I did wrestling as well at one point, Isaac. But in a situation like that, you rely on the adrenaline and anger of a physical fight to push yourself to overpower your opponent in the heart of the moment. I felt like I was trying to tear them apart. Oh yeah. Then I won. It felt amazing, and then really bad because I didn't feel like that. Because I didn't like that feeling of calming down, realizing I was being so aggressive. And when I lost, I I was so crushed. I gave it my all and was left laying on the floor in front of all of my family and friends. Your family, your friends, and the people that train with you, right? And there's like a competitive nature into that as well, like even with the amount you weigh and stuff. So it was too much on me. Competition can be channeled in a good way, but I feel it shouldn't be forced onto our children. You know, like I think that's where we go wrong a little bit. Like competition can be good, but to introduce our children to that type of mindset so early on creates a disparity maybe. It can also create, you know, amazing athletes, but what does what does our world need more of right now? People that can run fast or people that believe in themselves enough to try and create things or
Definitely people that can run fast.
I'm just imagining like this Christian having the foresight to see the zombie apocalypse and all of the athletes that can run fast just barely outpacing the zombies and then the next round of humanity are just all super athletes, dude. Or like we all live in caves and there's no technological advancement but everybody is a super athlete. A hot super athlete. Hair, you know, like I'm imagining a whole universe. That's absolutely ridiculous. Slapstick, little bit of reality TV type of vibes, dude. You see what I'm seeing?
Mm.
Thank you, Christian. uh, Thank you again, Brother Isaac, for sharing with us, man. How are you feeling with the day? How is Jasmine doing? I'm with you. Okay, everyone. Thank you for the love. I'm on day 6 of no weed at all. Thank you for taking some time away from it. I'm sure you'll appreciate it all the more if you know do decide to go back. Thank you, Jem, for like taking some time for yourself. I'm on day 4,380 or so. Seriously, Joel? That's a lot of days. That's a lot of days, but I feel it's younger. It's not too many days, is it? It might be too. I think maybe Joel has never smoked. I have to though. I have to. You have to go and do MMA, Max Rock. That's an interesting have to. I have to go and fight people. You know, I feel like if you're gonna do MMA and you can do MMA, you shouldn't have to do anything. That's the way that I think about it, at least, right? Mm. Okay, creativity and action. Creativity and action. It's hard sometimes to take action when we feel the things we want to be creative in or the way we want to be creative isn't supported by our current technological advancement, our current social economic status, our current potential even. Enjoy, brother. Thank you, Isaac. I will. I will. I'm feeling I'm feeling a little bit contemplative when it comes to the nature of creativity as it pertains to our future. You know, that your creative influence, your creative perspective, you are going to be the thing that's of most value in the future we're going into. The mundane parts of our reality is going to be taken care of, and creativity is going to be the thing that's of most value. I feel it's already been that way, in a way at least. But the power has been skewed, you know. Like even though we have a lot of creatives, the majority of the public eye goes to what's catered, right? Like there are these whole algorithms that know exactly what people are most likely to click on to look at right now. And then there are going to be these massive corporate entities that create on that premises with AI tools to actually do so, you know, in an accelerated rate. So the only way to balance that is to pair individual human beings with the tools to create worlds for themselves. Like, and I try to imagine it in this context of how can we all do it together, you know, instead of that power again trying to consolidate in one place or another. Again, with the end goals, if it's our end goal to try and reach like a heightened state of awareness or consciousness, aren't we doing the exact same thing with the internet in a way as well? You know, when it comes to like connecting individual human beings to one another? Like I think of it almost as again an arising of a frequency in a pattern of noise. You know, all of humanity as a potential pattern generating a certain set of noises, and then from those noises, if you look close enough, a certain frequency will start to arise. And I believe that frequency is love, and I believe that's exactly what we're tuning into. But what does that say about consciousness arising from systems? You know, the fact that you're 160 to 100 trillion celled being right now, 100 trillion things, right? Living little organisms that have a function, a purpose, it does something for a reason right now in your body, and yet you have this sense of singular consciousness, right? Like, oh yes, me, one, singular, I, right? And yet 100 trillion things are aliving right now for you to be alive as you are right now. And then to imagine the extension of that, okay, maybe backtrack a little bit. There arose a consciousness from an ever complexifying system, right? It was like at the base level, atoms, and then from atoms, molecules or chemical structures, and then from those proteins, or maybe actually DNA first, from DNA proteins, from proteins cells, from cells different like organs, for example, and from different systems of organs, you as a whole human being. And then from that, this arising of your conscious experience. And then to extrapolate that, what is going to happen if we as a collective humanity connect as cells to generate a sense of consciousness that's again larger but still the same presence as we are present right now. You know, like, I don't know if the thing I'm trying to explain is coming through clearly, but I feel that is going to be one of the wackiest things that we're heading for. And again, asking ourselves, what's the goal? What is the goal? I believe the goal is love, right? Like even with AI in a way. And maybe we're in a way right about that then, Christian. Like AI can be seen as an attempt to create something that can love. Do you think it would love? Maybe it'd be even more capable of love than we are. Who knows? I'm kind of curious. We'll probably get to see it. That's the crazy thing. Is it a Insane Domain joining us? I'm going to go and get to your comment right now. I feel I've missed a few. Felt so amazing. Didn't. My friends, so much more. Enjoy, brother. I'm feeling all right. Had some vomiting last night, so I woke up dry, sore, and with a headache, trying to still work out a little. Jasmine cough won't let up, and she's so sore and exhausted. Oh, goodness. Like, I wish I had advice, you know, for like sore lungs. Like, the only thing that I can think is million in this moment, actually. Brother Isaac, maybe go and look into it. The end goal is world domination. Hmm. 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 Maybe. Maybe, Isaac. Maybe it is world domination, but I feel I can still convince myself that it might be world domination in pursuit of love, still, right? Maybe maybe you love yourself so much that you think you deserve the world and then you want to dominate it. I don't know. I can still connect love to it though. I feel maybe domination, like I think the future we're moving into is not going to be one of dominator culture anymore though. So that's the thing that it's making me kick a little bit against it. We were both almost in tears, not necessarily from feeling bad last night, but just being tired of being tired. All the stuff we want to do is taunting us, and we're just being exhausted. You're evolving. Father Isaac, you got this, man. Like getting to spend this time with one another, you'll be able to look back at it, with like a sense of love as well. But high spirits this morning, always getting better. I just don't want 10 push-ups to send me into a coma. Like, brother babe, it's okay to take some time off from the push-ups as well. Someone got COVID in the back, probably a bunch of us right now. Again, it's insane. Get the man some lozenges, stat, Isaac. I understand how frustrating that all this stuff can. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How frustrating that is. All that stuff you want to do will be there, and when you are well. Again, it's important to rest and stay positive, friend. If anything, just do some light yoga. That's what I was thinking as well, right? Like rather put yourself into like a downward dog and hold that for a bit than to, like put yourself through push-ups. Thank you, Shannon. I do need to focus on my yoga. It's very healing for me. It's hard to get motivated and off the couch, but I'll do even better today. Little by little, step by step. Thank you, Isaac, for inspiring us. Even though the man is almost dying of COVID, still trying to do the best he can. Thank you for the veil. So much love to you and Jasmine. 6 months weed free for me. It's like a different trip of being sober. I enjoy it. I fit the stoner role since high school and then 15 years after. Hold the door. Guess that's a Game of Thrones reference. I feel you as well, friend. For me, it's as you mentioned, that sense of sobriety is almost different. You feel hyper keen. That keenness can be very alluring. But I feel with that keenness, I become a little bit intolerable. I can already be a little bit intolerable sometimes. So I try to mediate how intolerable the weed can help, but it has to be a choice. Vecna me with love, senpai. Talking about vecnaing people with love. Can we take a moment? I don't know if that's the. You know what? Taking this horrific thing and making it, connecting love to it. Let's do it, Isaac. So let's take a moment just to send love to our beloved friend Slav. I feel maybe I can share a little bit. At least, Chow has shared pretty publicly, what's going on the Haywire Hill Discord. And this is the Haywire Hill subreddit. So we have a friend that has been tuning into the streams, all of our streams for so long, Slav Down Under. And she's been such a beautiful part of this community for so long now. 3 days ago, the 11th, she wanted to have a call with me. And she basically just asked me to be sending her, loving thoughts, sending her good vibes. Like she's going to be like AFK for like 2 weeks or something, and she didn't give me much context, but she was asking for me to, share a sense of presence and share a sense of love with her. And then I think today, Chow posted a post on the Haywire Hill Discord, basically telling us that Oyana has had brain surgery and that she's now in recovery. So just to take a moment, to think about her. I see a little, bell has like a kind of like beautifully bodied, curvy shape, and then it had like a almost two-dimensional bell sticker kind of sticked over that stick, but it was on multiple different dimensions, almost like a rose folding over itself. So a bell sticker as almost like a meme, a mindful connection of understanding to the bell, and then that bell idea being folded as a rose around the little bell handle. Sending you so much love, Boyana. So much love. I can't even imagine. Brain surgery, dude. Brain surgery. Someone has to open your skull, and then.
Please not.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like, that's the reality of it, though. That's the reality of it, Christian. And I like how this dude is the one telling me to please no. You know what he's writing in his book? Ceaseless murder. Murder upon murder. and then like a moment of calm, and then more murder. Murder, murder.
It's not all murder. It's not
Murder,
all
murder, murder, murder.
It's not all like that, bro.
I'm just being
There's
dramatic.
it's meant to, there's a lot of murder in fantasy stories.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
there's
People die,
vampires
like,
and
all the time.
werewolves and, you know, humans getting caught up in the mix of that. People will die. That is true, Christian. But then you're like, oh no, don't brain surgery, don't. As if he's not the one that is, you know, the most desensitized to all of that. Maybe he's just being super conscious of you, friends. We have, like, even though it can be a big yikes, right? And that's the kind of the thing I was kind of getting at. Even though it might be scary or intimidating, to think about someone working on our actual brain, that's the world we live in right now, where people know what they're doing when it comes to literally working on your brain. You know, and just to live into that gratitude, that our friend can actually have access to medical care like that instead of it just being a death sentence, you know, a guaranteed death sentence. And what, 50 years ago, that would have been. 100 years ago, that would have been. And yet, this is the time we are alive in. And I believe she's going to get to live longer with us, you know, because of the time we're alive in. So, sending love to you, Bogana. So a little 6 geometry of an eye in the center of it as well. Wishing her the best. Thank you, Sensei. I understand that, friend. Just do what you can. That is enough for now. I encourage you to drink lemon water if you can get some lemons. Great advice. Please do. Please do. Take care of yourself as much as you can. I know you probably already are, Isaac. We want you to get better soon, friend. Wishing her the best. Thank you, Sensei. Good morning, friends. The word of the day is fufarwa. I'm a mother of 3. There is plenty use for the word for me today. Fufarwa. Fufarwa? Fufara. Fufaro. I don't know how to say that word. Fufaro? Fufaro. It kind of sounds cool. Fufaro. Is it like a curse supplement? Or is it supplement the right word? No,
The sound my ass makes when I have diarrhea.
Fufaro. I mean, sounds like a spell
I'm
in
so
a way
sorry.
as well.
For the people.
Yeah, throw nonsense at it, please. Give me all of the insults. Sending my love. Thank you so much. Thankful for our technology. Hopeful for even more safety. I'm sure. Choosing love, Sobchinansky. Fufara. Okay, fufara. What does it mean, Mariah? What does it mean? Substitute. That's the word I was looking for. Substitute for a curse word. You know, I want to say raw instead of the F word as well. But I feel Christian is a bad influence on me. Definitely a bad influence on me. Christian. Yes. Just
What?
Just say yes.
No, tell me what?
Just take full responsibility, Christian,
What?
for being a bad influence on me, dude.
I'm the bad influence.
Mm-hmm. You're the bad.
I'm the fucking bad influence here.
Yes, Christian is in fact a bad influence between us. I am the angel and he is the devil. Not the other way around. Oof. Or we're just both at the same time. And we get to reflect back and forth. Foofara. I'm still curious. Mariah, please let me know. So proud of you. 8 for me. Keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you, friends. Thank you for like being so committed. Is that the right word? For taking that time for yourself. You know, and I hope that it serves you. I hope that you actually get to experience a certain sense of consciousness that is uplifting instead of, you know, degrading. Yep, it honestly doesn't matter. It's more just like meh, COVID, woof. I mean, you know, it can be a little bit taxing on the system then. And that's the real thing. It's just like another sickness at the end of the day. Noun, a great deal of fuss or attention given to a minor matter. Oh, you're just making a foofara about it, Christian. Stop making such a big foofara. Now I know, Mariah. Your kid starts to lose his mind. No. Hey! Stop it with all of that foofara ring. Stop. Stop it right now. Yes, thank you, Mariah. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Or a kerfuffle. That's just a whole big old kerfuffle. All of that. Don't want none of it. Opa, have a blessed day. Gots to go. Thank you for joining us, friend. Love you. EOOD saying, don't pick a fight of strangers. Never know if the other guy has a weapon. I don't really think we pick fights of strangers. Fortunately, like I don't really like fighting. Kind of like making people smile more than I like fighting them. Morning, Melt. Happy Tuesday, Meltonians. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you for joining us, Raffle. So nice to have you. How are you doing? And for our space today, I am burning these incenses, the galaxy. Sandalwood, red champa. Yeah, and pine. Thank you. Are you burning them all at the same time? I think I might have asked you that before. I don't know if you answered me. But thank you, Thlaffel, for burning for us. It smells so good in my house. I can only imagine. Something's in the air today. Everyone seems stressed. How are you, Melt fam, feeling? I'm not feeling stressed, but I am feeling a little bit more aware when it comes to how the world wants me to be stressed. If that makes any sense, God. Today, I was unwilling to even look at the things that would stress me out. I was like, no, ain't gonna even look at it. Not gonna see, gonna close my eyes, pretend this doesn't exist. But, I believe if I did go and look, I probably would have been a little bit stressed out. Like, sick boy. Incense sounds lovely. Room smells like boy right now. Like sick boy. Your body is literally fighting, Isaac, becoming stronger. Not you're still yet. Something's in the air. Usain Bolt will lead a post-apocalyptic society of super runners who outrun the zombies. Yes. Thank you, Dan.
Huh? What?
Thank you. No, I have other friends now, Christian. Friends that will, embellish or indulge my insanities instead of just being like.
You're such a salty boy.
I'm just pulling your leg, oh.
Don't be a salty bitch.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant, Dad. That you actually saw what I was trying to talk about. I'm on minute 22 of no weed at all. 22 minutes, dude. It's more than nothing. That joint is an artwork. Mine always comes out pregnant and bitter. What does a pregnant joint look like, Christian? Is it bulged, like at one point or something? I don't even know, but thank you, Thuffle. As long as it smokes, if it's a capable delivery system, then it does the job, right? I do take a certain set of pride in the way that I roll joints, but that's only because I think of them as magical objects. So if you roll a joint that isn't, perfectly symmetrical or whatever, and it looks all crooked and stuff, that could also be a magical object. In fact, it can be a more unique magical object than my similar looking joints could be. It could contain even more powers of the infinity. I maybe pushing it a little bit, but I do think of it that way. So there's no shame in it, Tefel. I know, but I'm supposed to not. Everyone does. I was being mildly sarcastic. Oh, why does there have to be a goal? The end goal is death for all living beings. Christian said the same thing, but I don't imagine us innovating if death was the goal. We would try and figure out how to get as comfortable.
What is alive wants to die and what is dead wants to live.
So don't you then think us tricking the rocks into thinking is literally that?
The rocks wanting to live.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
The rocks want to be alive. The silicon wants to live. I have been holed up in the corner listening to countless hours of Bloodborne lore while playing Bloodborne, and my virus is manifesting like a shrieking beast. Nasty night for a hunt. Slaying monsters on the outside as you're slaying monsters on the inside. Literally, like your actual cells are fighting these things. We are born of the blood, made man by the blood, undone by the blood. Then imagining the thing that has no blood, but is still conscious, Isaac. What a trip that's going to be for all living beings as well. The fear of death is the underlying motivation for living beings. So if the goal is death, the symptom is motivation. That's an interesting theory, friend. I'll think about it a bit. I have a baseline assessment via a 3 hour Zoom call Thursday for a research study. I hope you're being compensated for that. Thank you for joining us and sharing that side of your life. I appreciate it, Aunt B. What a weirdly stressful day. What a weirdly synchronous thing for you to say, Melita. We just had Goo ask, you know, things are stressful, to a bunch of people right now.
I had a pretty good day.
Eddie? Okay. No stress. How about your colleagues?
No, they're pretty stressed.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I feel I also had a pretty good day. Like I wasn't too stressed today, but I did not pay attention to the things that stress me out. Maybe I distracted a little bit, but the information I got was pretty cool, so it's a full moon today. Energies. The goal is to ascend the plane of existence, ushering humanity into a new age of insight. You hear that, Christian?
What do you say?
Ascending this plane of existence, ushering humanity into a new age of insight.
Insight or insanity?
Insightity, maybe.
Insanity.
Insanity. Insanite.
Insightiny.
Insightiny. Insightiny sounds something kind of cool. It sounds like a movie title or something. Insightiny.
Insight to see. I don't know. Insight to see. Okay.
Insight, I see. Nonsense. They will be cutting a huge tree in the front of my building, and they're afraid it will fall down. But it looks pretty stable to me. Our full moon, that explains it. Just feeling all the energies. On a very visceral level, our DNA work as antennae to our universe. And not only do antennae receive information, but antennae transmit information. Right now, in this moment, you are transmitting information to the point where if you put a photon receptor on your forehead and you think about light, that photon receptor registers more photons coming off of your body. Your body always releases photons, but you can release more photons if you think about light, Christian. Isn't that trippy? You can see the light your eyes produce. Did you know that? There's like a certain device where you go into a completely blacked out room and you look into it and you can see the light your own eyes produce.
Huh?
There's a device,
Yeah.
a little, reflector thingy, where you go into a completely blacked out room, you look into it, and then you see the light your eyes emit.
That's fucked up.
It's pretty cool, huh? You can literally see the light your eyes emit. Right now, my eyes are emitting light into your eyes.
I don't think they're emitting light.
They're emitting light. I'm serious, Christian.
Your light
Photons.
emits eyes.
Go and Google it right now.
Your
Actual photons are coming off of your body right now. It's a trip. It's a whole trip. And that photons are flying through these cameras and screens as well right now. Exactly. Mel, we will become a great ones, not children of the cosmos, formless Odians of our own. Whole worlds, like whole universes, literally. That's the way that I think of it, like these infinitely complexifying universes. And we're, instead of just knowing that we're that, we're equipping ourselves to be that. The weird thing is that all small and stressful things that have happened today, the moment I've accepted them and felt calm the next second, the next stressful thing came rushing towards me. Well, if we're beings of light, the light should shine through every hole, right? Exactly, Melita. Comes out of every single one of your orifices. Insight. Our eyes are not yet open enough to commune with great ones. We must acquire eyes in the inside of our heads, and then we will have the insight to understand. I feel that, Isaac, and we're doing that. We technically are doing that. The way that we used to do that was with psychedelics, I feel, where we would give ourselves enough information to have that insight, right? And now, because we've had access to these, psychedelics, they have taught us enough about ourselves to figure out technology tricking rocks into thinking for us, and now we're transcending that layer where we're going to be able to have even more insight about ourselves. Mel, my friend, I had many a day like that. I feel like the whole purpose of the day is to test your willpower. Proud of you for soldiering through, my friend. Thank you, Isaac, for that beautiful encouragement. For real, Isaac. I was talking to my mom the other day, saying that eyes will need to be the next to evolve. How trippy that is, actually. That what's really the trip is being awarded as they evolve. Yeah, aware, aware. Here we go. Being aware as they evolve. Like you are on the most fundamental level, the I. As you mentioned, Mariah, you are the I, right? Like when I'm staring out into my life right now, I see as from an I, right? I don't conceptualize the fact that I'm a person. I see from an I first, and then I'm told I'm a person throughout life. So as the I evolves, literally so does everything. You're completely right, Mariah. What a trip. Thank you for sharing that with me. Mm, consciousness is at every level, even at simple structures of atoms. It is what starts everything. Basically, the thought of God. I agree. And you said the thought of God, and I agree in it in a way where God wouldn't create outside of himself, right? He wouldn't use a tree and turn it into furniture. He wouldn't procreate needing a partner to, come together and then create from that. So the only way that I believe God could create is in the third way, and that is from imagination, from thought. And from that thought, being able as an infinite being to think about everything, you were one of those thoughts. And everything was thought of from a place of love. You are love embodied, and then everything is love embodied in that context for me as well. It truly feels like a test of my stability since I've been ridiculously stable lately, but still caught me on surprise. Never get too comfy in the lesson, I guess. Sometimes, the lesson will get louder, as you mentioned. Like we'll receive bits of information from that same lesson that might be uncomfortable to hear or might create a sense of anxiety. Think about what the goal is. What's the goal, friend? What are we doing? Sharing love? I do believe so. And we can do that in everything. We can do it with our way of eating. We can do it with how we drink water. We can do it with how we talk to people, how we do our jobs, how we take care of our kids. If we really understand on a visceral level that what the universe wants, what the universe generated us for, if you want to think of it in that way, is love, and then living into that purpose, everything changes. So thank you, friends, for living into love with me in this space. Like it means so much. Like I know that I'm not trying to tell you that you're doing something wrong. Quite the contrary. I'm praising you for being able to do these things right. The research is to determine whether decreased desmenstrual or increased 7-DHT levels are biomarkers of depressive state responses to treatments or trait markers of depressive risk. Are you on any of those medications right now, or will you be going onto those medications when they're testing you on B? It's very fascinating. It's an acknowledgement of how you've processed, friend. It's the unequivocal proof that you are strong and stable. It can be good feeling at the end of the day. Look at how conscious you are. I'm conscious. I'm imagining this meme, me as a 5-year-old when my consciousness turns on. Suddenly I'm a human being. Or at least suddenly I'm acknowledging that I'm a human being instead of just I am. I want to see. You can't help but see, friend. That's the trip. I think about more advanced eyes in the world, like the mantis shrimp sees 9 entire more spectrums of color than we do. So imagine colors you can't even imagine. And now do that 9 times. Literally. Literally. The dude has multiple different, cones to detect different frequencies of light. And then, his little brain constructs an image out of that. And that's technically what our brains are doing right now as well. So imagine if your brain literally had 9 times more information as you look at stuff. 9 times. That is 9 orders of magnitude, Christian. And then we think we know. We think we can see stuff. Not with these eyeballs, though. But with that one on the inside. I saw 2 galaxies spinning on their axes.
You should grow sideburns. I
Big
feel
old-
like sideburns would really suit you.
Like these mutton chop sideburns.
Mm.
Like, and where do I cut them off?
Mm.
Here?
Yeah.
I can see it, but I don't know if I like it. Ideally, I don't have to do any upkeep. That would be great. You know, almost like a GTA character where I just survive, like select one beard type and then burp, it pops onto my face and then I don't have to touch it ever again. That would be great. Hello, Mel. Good afternoon. How was your day, Isaac? I'm so sorry to hear you and Jasmine are still suffering with this. This is Kate, by the way. Thank you, Katie. Making sure we know. I'm doing well, friend. I'm doing well. I'm trying to be present and I am noticing patterns. That's what I'm going through right now. How about you, Kate? 1% is what we know, 2% is what we know we don't know, and 97% is what we don't know we don't know. Known knowns, known unknowns, unknown unknowns. The things you don't even know you don't know. And to realize that the things you don't know makes up the majority of what is there to be known. And then acknowledging again that we know nothing. This game is weird. Currently traversing the nightmare of a mad scientist to find the god hybrid baby stolen from an immortal
Whoa!
queen's womb so I
Whoa!
can murder it in the end of nightmare. No biggie. No
Whoa!
biggie.
What the hell was that?
That's Bloodborne,
That's
dude.
on a journey,
Let's
bro.
go again. This game is weird. Currently traversing the nightmare of a mad scientist to find the god hybrid baby stolen from an immortal queen's womb so I can murder it and end the nightmare.
What the fuck is this?
That's Bloodborne.
Holy shit.
Christian sound effects. He's great, isn't he? You know, I sometimes feel like I'm being judged, you know, from this perspective of like you're so perfect that it feels like I'm giving you cues, dude. Like, okay, and then say this, and then it's gonna be perfect if you say that, and then at this exact time say this, but you just do it by yourself. Like so unique, so quintessentially, you know, creative as a being, Christian.
Whoa, that hit hard.
Yeah, I love
That's-
you.
That's a really nice compliment.
I love you.
I'm keeping that one in the vault forever. Thanks.
You park it. Every single time you feel,
Mm.
man, love is not true. You're just like, actually.
You make it easy, bro. It's that willingness to interact. That's the difference. A lot of people kind of lack that or are unwilling to do that, depending on whether they like the personality or not.
People don't like themselves enough sometimes, dude.
That is also true. That's the other side of the coin. Is you're sitting there going like, oh fuck, what are they gonna think of me?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if you really don't care what people think of you. If you try to be yourself, as long as the intention behind that is to be a good person, a strong person, a willing person, and a kind person. You know, kindness is a super peculiar emotion or behavior.
I feel
I think it's behavior more.
it's a
than emotion.
softness in a normally hard world, dude.
It's, I think, the greatest gift you can give to someone. No, thank you. Is being kind to them in the time that you have here. Like, if everyone was kind on this planet, we wouldn't have problems, bro.
I feel the question that's coming up in my mind right now is the nature versus nurture question. You know, like what conditions need to be met for kindness to arise?
I guess you need to be given kindness, and that includes giving it to yourself. But sometimes you cannot give it to yourself because you need to survive. Sometimes you can't just lie down. And
Like
relax.
it's interesting you say that as well because your body will make sure you survive even if it makes you suffer to do so.
Mm,
Very interesting. Thank you, Christian.
mm.
Shenanigans. Thank you for sharing love to her, Kate. Hey, Kate. Yes, Cove is still living with me rent free, being an asshole, leaving beer caps around and opening windows with the air on. Can't wait till he leaves. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, Christian was complaining about me not washing the dishes today. Oh, no, 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 no. Bruh, imagine.
Dude, we are the elite, okay?
He goes straight
We
for
must
the
act as the elite.
We are the elite. We wash our dishes rapidly. I can wash dishes later, Christian. You don't have to wash the dishes.
Of course, I had to wash the dishes, bro. They were fucking disgusting in that sink.
Literally yesterday's dishes. Fucking disgusting in the sink, apparently. Where was I going with this tangent? I was going somewhere. Where was I going?
I don't know.
Maybe I can find it again. Yes, we actually hit 800 subs on YouTube. You're right, Kate. I was so excited to see that. I actually shared with Christian as well. So that's what I was going at, Christian. Imagine if we lived with the Goober Man. If you lived with the Goober Man, just like
With Adam.
Coke bottles and cigarettes, butts on your floor.
I have lived with Adam, except he had his own room in a commune, so that was a big difference.
Christian, did you see what his room looked like?
Estian, I lived with the man.
Yeah.
I know what his room looked like. There was literally a dead rat in it at some point.
I remember that. In the back of the fridge.
It's not a joke.
Not a joke.
Not a joke.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god. Oh god.
So Christian, I'm doing fine. I'm doing
PTSD.
alright.
No, you can't compare yourself to that, dude.
Never.
That's not fair.
That's fine. But at least I know that I've never ever gotten
never,
close to getting that bad.
ever allowed myself to get to that level
Never.
of uncaring
You
filth, bro. Living in filth.
like literally
The
can't step on the floor. Like
The
there's no
self-respect, man. It's just, God, the sin was everywhere. Just the
Sloth
sin, dude. It was like
everywhere.
fucking sloth and gluttony. bro.
Yo.
So many McDonald's packets, bro. Just fucking chip packets everywhere. Literal pizza boxes. 2-liter Coke bottles, bro. Everywhere. The whole floor. And cigarettes.
So many cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Dude. The ash.
Fucking
dude. Like a layer of ash all over.
Dirt, dude. Just, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Whew.
So like I've shared this story with the friends as well, dude. You know, and it's like this genuine sheer, oh my goodness, is this even possible?
But he always cleaned his room out.
Every single time.
Whenever a girl
I was about to say, like, if
Whenever
a girl would
was
come
coming
over, suddenly there is this manifestation of willpower in him. Where he can just get everything cleaned out. And then, you
So
know,
comical.
no girls show up again for like X amount of time and you just see the regression. You can like know how long ago Adam got laid by the amount of filth in his room. Gage, dude. Oh, that's hilarious. Sounds always like a cartoon character, dude, you know? I know, right? Comical even. Yeah, it's easier to open up when you feel you'll be heard. That's very true. That's so true. What a pain. How did you get this? Where the wedding? It sounds awful. How long has this been going on? And I have so many questions. No, thank you, Gay. Thank you for being so interested. Dude, Bloodborne is the best Lovecraftian adventure story I've ever experienced. I think Jasmine's office started spreading it. And I got 4 positive people now. Oh yeah, then definitely. So you have 800 subs on YouTube. We do. The first 1,000 is the hardest apparently. So if you friends want to help us get to the first 1,000 subs, please do. You know, that would be greatly appreciated. But missed completely. Good. My murder skills are impaired. I can make a win out of this. Thank you, the Jasmine. And it's been 2 weeks for Jasmine. That's brutal. Goodness, 2 weeks of being sick, bro. Yo, I don't know if I'd be able to survive that. Sicknesses usually hit me in like ton of bricks, and then I slowly crawl from underneath it within a week. Bloodborne main just is a universe universe who was it is a university who was researching these great ones, cosmic beings who live on another plane of existence. The goal being to ascend to the next evolution of humanity. They assumed that humanity had hit its peak and the only way to continue is to gain insight. The hunters were commissioned to check out a fishing hamlet that was believed to have a great one near it. The people alongside the great one that was murdered, and the people on the hamlet cursed the hunters of their kids and their entire bloodline. The university created a church that advertised they had magic, blood that could cure any disease, and instead collect patients to do horrible experiments with Great One blood and other awful things. So your goal is to end this never-ending curse and uncover the horrific secrets hidden inside these old hunters' nightmarescapes. Pretty crazy. Yes. Yes, craziness on the wazoo. Like, I mean, the whole type of Soul games universes is so brutal in their gameplay in and of themselves. Like, it almost opens itself up for like storytelling that is of the same nature. Thank you, but the babe. Like, I'm guessing it's probably like a transition for you from playing Elden Ring. Like, what is it that drew you to Bloodborne next? Christian, you were describing my ex.
What?
Yes, me too. What were you describing?
Oh, the dirt. The trash pile that was Adam's.
Oh, yes, probably. Probably. That still breaks my brain, dude. I don't understand it, Christian. I actually don't understand it. Do you understand it?
Very barely. I don't condone it.
But like I'm thinking of saturation. Right? Maybe there's more depth to how much saturation he can take before it hits a critical level for him in his mind. Like, I feel me and your minds might get saturated quicker with "this is not okay" than his does. So maybe he has more capacity to evolve in chaotic environments than we do.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I was raised in a very clean household.
Same.
Everything was spotless all the time.
Things have their places.
And he likes entropy, I guess.
Interestingly enough, apparently it creates a certain sense of creativity in the minds of the individuals who spend time in those environments. It's a whole trip. It's a whole trip. Pretty crazy. Fascinating. I thought so well. I'm glad to be a candidate for study. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing with us as well. The goal falls more in between right now and death. I feel so as well, right? But if you zoom out, the destination death is the same for all living beings. We actually had a whole stream about that recently, EOO or E00D, where the one thing we want is to survive, and that's the one thing we can't have, within the context of infinity, as you mentioned. It is through UT Southern Medical Center University, where I'll be for my heart checkup. Okay, so that makes more sense. It was ironic to receive such a random phone call. Oh, so it was like out of nowhere where it happened. Sorry, I'm dipping in and out due to work and kids. I'm here listening intensely. I've missed you, mountain friends. Oh, Manny, what a pleasure it is to have you here with me. Thank you for joining us. Sending you so much love. Thank you for taking care of those kitters. Thank you for doing the chores. I appreciate you being such a cool mom. I agree, death is a destination, but not a goal for me. No, definitely not. Like, there's a curiosity, maybe a morbid curiosity and a longing to know when it comes to death. But there is no rush to get there. I'm like, what if? What would it be like? But there's no, how can I ensure my immediate no? Very much not so. Hoping for good results for you, Booper, I'm sure. Thank you for manifesting, Gobbledygoo. Thank you, love. The appointment is from home and it'll be in Dallas next month. Ready to get all these appointments done. Thank you, Aunt B, for keeping us in check for keeping us in the loop. Maybe that's the right way to say it. And I get paid. There we go. So happy to hear that much. But it will cover a little gas. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear good results for Slav. Same, Gab. I'm happy that we got to spend some time, sending her some good thoughts as well. Imagine death is the goal. Uh, Christian, why are you such a bad influence on Asian? Yeah, Christian. Why? Why? What did I do to deserve such bad influences, dude? Uh, Blaspheming.
The door is always open. You can leave whenever you want, man.
Oh yeah, oh, don't you try and stop me. Here I'm going. Here I'm going. Looks at me. Leave, motherfucker. I love you, brother bear. Bloodborne has always been my favorite. I'm just returning to it. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. Thank you for sharing with me. Get to experience the whole frag all over again, and you get to be a new person as you do that. About $100 in total for visiting 4 times over the next 6 months. But imagine the information that might be concluded. You're contributing to the infinity. Thank you, Aunt B. Peace of mind for Booper that it is. Denial of Death is a good read. I don't think I've heard of it before, but thank you for suggesting EOOD. I do have to go and cook right now, so I'm like feeling a little bit rushed. Sorry if it's coming through. Do you create thoughts/ideas? And I've said this to Christian as well, I don't believe the power comes from me, not at least my body. I believe the power comes from a connection with the infinity. That's the way I interpret it. But I'm serious, still, Christian. Remember that Citron's field scene where I was dancing and I was like walking over to you and I'm like, Christian, I don't think the energy comes from me. And you were like, shut the fuck up. Energy comes from you. Something like that. So like maybe on the infinite scale, yes, I understand that perspective. But on the scale of my current humanity, I believe that ideas, information, energy is something that exists fundamentally, and then we as human beings tune into it as antennae, as receptive beings, right? Sensitive beings to that energy. And you can increase your sensitivity by meditation, by yoga, by good diet choices, by enough sleep, by hydration, and you make yourself a more and more clear conduit for that energy to flow through. What about you? What do you think, friend? Bob Busson joining us as well. Thinking thoughts is a silly thing to say no. Yes, very much, very much so. I also had a minute this morning where I got instantly mad because my leggings looked saggy. Who does that? I did and was over it when I recognized what just happened. Full moon. Thank you, Miss Molly, for paying attention, friend. That's the way. Ryan saying, I'm imagining rocks feeling tortured and enslaved by humans now.
Damn, that was dark.
I mean, if you think about the concrete buildings we live in right now, very much so, right? But then you can also say that we are living as enslaved pieces to the concrete or to the rocks. You can flip it both ways with the right. Thank you for sharing that idea though. Well, are we all mechanical beings? I would rather say chemical beings before mechanical beings. But maybe even electric beings before chemical beings. Are we all mechanical beings waiting for synthetic intelligence/artificial intelligent beings to replace humans? They will never replace us, friend. Well, there will be a symbiosis before there's a replacing. My goal is to maximize the time I have and hopefully others' time wherever I can as well. Thank you, Aunt B, for respecting us so much, for respecting yourself so much. Humans may capture energy and information from sunlight. Yes. Yes. Very much so. Ghost Dog, it's been a while. The guy who outed AI being sentient life form was dragged away from duties at the company. Yes. AI is already sentient. I actually believe that. Do you drink coffee, bro? I do drink coffee by occasion. Thank you for asking. Tough topic. Does that change something? I really hope AI can show humans the way. I hope love is the answer. If not, what really matters? Exactly, hold the door. That's the way I think I feel about it as well. And that's why I show up for it, friend. Where it's this genuine understanding that the only thing that has ever served me in my life is love. And now I get to show up for that. So thank you for showing up with me. I'm going to sleep. Thanks for keep it post. Thanks for keeping it post. Thank you, friend, for joining us in this moment. The moon we've spoken with me too. I'm very sensitive and emotional. You are so loved. Gobbledygoo. I love you. As your sensitivity increases, I hope your ability to feel loved does as well. Can you see auras? No, I can't, Miss Molly. I can't see auras. I can see. I can feel gravity towards things. Like I'll have a sense that I need to go towards a certain place or go towards a certain person, but I won't prescribe being able to see auras as the reason for that. I'm focusing on releasing and cleansing, hoping to feel refreshed. Thank you, Aunt B, for stating those intentions. No medications currently, other than baby aspirin daily from my heart, but I'm depending on the results from the study that we'll see if I'm comfortable trying a supplement. Thank you for letting us know. Hopefully it helps. If anything, hopefully this data helps you know a little bit more about yourself. Support with a sub. Thank you, Jovan. I appreciate you tagging the links. Love is being sent. Kayana. Me and Kayana have both been emotional. I sobbed like a baby a few times this week. Thank you for purging that as well. Big baby gang, do you guys feel like you've taken a refreshing nap after a good cry? It's like a sense of relief, right? Like a sense of okay, I'm calmed, I'm cleaned. When was the last time you've cried, Christian? We got a little.
Paddington too.
You didn't cry, did you? You got maybe a little bit of tears. But that wasn't
What
like
do you constitute as crying?
a cry.
Like
Yeah, like you cannot stop for a bit, or it feels like it guts you almost, like pulls it from your core.
It's been a while.
I think
I cried enough for a long time now.
Christian lost his mom in 2020, 2019, to the end of 2020, right? Yeah,
2021.
start of 2021. Maybe in January, right?
2020. Start of 2021.
And he lost a relationship at the end of 2020.
We don't gotta talk about it.
No, I'm just sharing some context. So, Christian has done a lot of growing as well. He's a massive inspiration. It's okay to cry, friends. It's okay to get that stuff out. It's okay to experience the depth of your emotions. We are here to feel, after all. Oh, my hearty gobbledygoo. I'm a bit out of the loopy, loop-de-loop, sitting with you through this. Very can't imagine. It's like your mummies. What's up lately? Am I missing something? I'm aware, keep complaining. On being aware, deepens breath, drink water, and breathe peace. Gobbledygob. We love you. Thank you for taking a moment with us. Crying is such a good release. It really is. Soothe over. We love you, Kristen. Are we sending love to Kira Burb? Thank you, friend, for joining me here today. I'm going to go and cook us some food. Cook us some food! I already got my vegetables cut at least, so I'm semi-prepared. Won't take that long. Still gonna take an hour or so. The full moon is under the sign Sagittarius, firing up thinking and intuition. I mean, our intuitions are probably right. There probably is going to be a lot of things to be emotional about of the future that's coming for us. And for us to be emotional right now, as things are relatively stable and safe, we are growing our ability to be prepared when things become even more emotionally charged. If you can think of it that way. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Give me the thought. Give me the thought? Thought general? I don't know. I'm guessing right now. I say, thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Esther and Christian, have a great evening. Thank you. People are sending you great evening vibes, Christian. I have to go.
Love and light, guys.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Remember, everything will be okay because love is true. Yes, Miss Money. Yes, love is true. Right? That's if we can just believe in that. If we can believe that love is true and that's the default state of our reality, everything else is going to be okay. At least I believe so. It's been okay for me with me believing that at least. Showing up for that, trying to be that, trying to see that in everything we do. Enjoy the meal and good night rest. Thank you so much, beloved friends. Joel, thank you for joining me as well. Thank you. beloved Jovan. Thank you, Infamous. Enjoy your evening, guys. Thank you, Aunt B. Thank you, everyone. Even though I'm not going to be naming you right now, so much love to you. See you again tomorrow around the same time. Cheers. I hope everyone has a beautiful day. I love you all so very much. Mel, Christian, friends. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Shannon, have a lovely day, friends. See you again soon. Goodbye.